Good, happy Friday morning, September 6th, 2019. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, doctor pleads guilty to sexually assaulting patient. Prosecutors say doctor took advantage of vulnerable woman. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Andy Hirschberger.
Customers will call in or email in and just tell us that I was at the store, and from the beginning of the sale till the delivery, it was a great experience. And as a business owner, that's what we strive for.
Visit us at powellstone.com.
Prosecutors say in 2018, Hugh McDonald was the primary care physician for a woman in her 40s when he took advantage of their professional relationship and sexually assaulted her.
From the beginning of his treating relationship with her, the defendant knew how vulnerable she was. He knew she had a history of trauma, and he knew about her resulting mental health issues. He took advantage of those facts in a horribly egregious way.
McDonald pleaded guilty to 4 counts of aggravated felonious sexual assault today. He will spend a minimum of 5 years in prison. Prosecutors say McDonald would call the victim and have her come to his Newmarket office during off hours where the assaults took place. The victim presented the court with a statement which read in part, "What trust and hope we were trying to find, he destroyed." Prosecutors say they agreed to this plea bargain to protect the victim.
She is intelligent, perceptive, kind, and she is brave. Our hope is that this plea agreement saves her from having to testify and from dealing with any appeal issues after trial.
McDonald's medical license has been suspended and he must register as a sex offender when released from prison. The judge told McDonald that in her 30 years of experience, she's never seen anything like this.
Your behavior was not only despicable and horrific, but it was selfish.
The judge also told the victim that she did nothing to deserve this. McDonald chose not to make a statement in court. Reporting live, I'm Andy Hirschberger, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Man accused of hiding spy camera in bathroom of home in Barnstead. 58-year-old Daniel Powell of Andover charged with violation of privacy. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Gene Mackin.
We feel that if a customer wants their product and they're ambitious and they want to do it today, if we have it here in stock, we have the people, the trucking, and why put off till tomorrow what you can do today?
Visit us at powellstone.com.
Well, police here in Barnstead say a teenage girl discovered that camera in a bathroom. A camera so small, it's about the size of an ice cube. 58-year-old Daniel Powell from Andover, Massachusetts, is charged with violation of privacy, a misdemeanor. Police in Barnstead say they have evidence that Powell hid a small camera in a home he visited in town this summer. A father reported the discovery.
His teenage daughter found a micro spy camera in the upstairs bathroom. Once we received that report, we looked into it right away. We reached out to the New Hampshire Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force for assistance.
Investigators in New Hampshire and Massachusetts joined the case. Daniel Powell's home was searched in Andover, Massachusetts, leading to the seizure of several electronic items.
It resulted in multiple electronic devices being obtained, such as laptops, SD cards, and cell phones, which are currently being analyzed by the lab.
And police are now determining what, if anything, was recorded. Powell is free on bail and due in court in November. Live in Barnstead tonight, Jean Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Barnstead police looking for car that killed golden retriever Thursday morning. Driver and passenger fled scene, police say. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Chapel Tractor has been in our family since 1955, when great-grandfather Pearlie and our grandfather George decided to sell tractors.
Well, tonight, police in Barnstead are looking for the vehicle involved in a hit-and-run that left a dog dead. It happened around 6 this morning on Route 28 near the former JJ's restaurant. Officers say they recovered pieces of the car at the scene. Witnesses say 2 women in the car stopped after hitting the golden retriever, looked at their car's damage, and then drove off. The vehicle is described as a red sedan with New Hampshire plates that police believe is a 2013 or 14 Subaru Legacy or Outback. The vehicle will have damage to its front end.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Memorial Walk marks 4 years since woman shot killed in Manchester. Denise Robert case remains unsolved. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Siobhan Lopez.
Ew! This water smells.
Smelly water is ew. It can be more serious than just the smell. At Capital Well Clean Water Center, we get the ew out of the water and make it.
Thanks for coming today.
Denise Robert was the oldest of 12 children. Now her younger siblings bring family and friends together just over 4 years since she was killed, keeping her memory alive.
This is a place where she liked to be. She made a point to be here every weekend.
On Sunday, August 30th, 2015, the 62-year-old was shot on Ray Street in Manchester while on her usual weekend walk. Tonight, the group walked her route, stopping for a prayer where she died.
What I will take going forward was her persistent approach to life.
Her siblings are persistent in their pursuit of justice.
Myself and my family, we just feel that her case is being pushed out and it's in danger of becoming what some people refer to as a cold case.
We wanted to be out here to support them because we know what support feels to us.
Lisa Post's sister is also the victim of an unsolved murder in Manchester. Lynn Brennan was found dead in her home in 2010.
We just need to get together and kind of support each other and try to raise funding and see if we can make a difference and get some answers for all of us.
The Robert family wants people to come forward by contacting the Manchester Crime Line.
What you saw, what you heard could be very significant.
Tips to the Crime Line can be made anonymously by calling the number you see there on your screen, 603-624-4040. The Attorney General's office calls this an active investigation. We're live in Manchester. Siobhan Lopez, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Permanent memorial to Randolph motorcycle crash victims considered. granite monument proposed by Gorham American Legion. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cronin.
Mrs. Smith, we got your water test results back.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so your arsenic levels are really high.
The idea was well received at tonight's meeting to build something that would be open from spring through fall and be a respectful tribute to the lives lost. Since the tragic crash in June, people have been stopping by the memorial to pay their respects, but being right on the side of Route 2, safety is a concern. Now the town of Randolph plans to build a permanent memorial to the 7 motorcyclists who were killed when a truck collided with them.
We wanted to do something for them, something right. Not a big to-do, something to honor them.
Michael Murphy is the commander of the Gorham American Legion post, which is where the members of the Jarheads Motorcycle Club were heading when they were killed. The Legion is proposing the Fallen 7 Memorial, made of granite with benches and parking, in an area behind where the crash happened, away from traffic.
On anniversaries of the accident, it might be busy out there, and we will work through making that happen.
The project costs $12,000, and thanks to donations, the Legion is only about $700 short of that goal.
Everybody stepped up to the plate, and we pretty much got all we needed.
The hope is to have the memorial built in the spring before the crash anniversary. As for the flags and crosses at the site right now, Murphy says they would be taken down and given to the victims' families.
It's a memorial, it's hallowed ground. It's not going to be a place like we talked about in here to go have a picnic or a function. And it's not what it is.
The driver of the truck who collided with the 7 motorcyclists is charged with 7 counts of negligent homicide. The town's Forest Commission could vote on the memorial plans next month. In Randolph, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Two Seacoast Police Departments introduce new canines. Willow is in Greenland and Frankie is in Portsmouth. Let's take a look at this video from WMUR News 9.
At Beltates, customers will find everything they need for a building project. The brand names you trust to perform. And with a fleet of over 50 delivery vehicles, we deliver when and where our customers need them. Beltates Building Products. 9 locations throughout New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
Well, tonight, 2 local police departments are welcoming some new members to their force.
That's right. Everybody fell in love with this guy around here. This is Greenland's newest officer, K9 Willow, a golden retriever seized in an animal cruelty case in Bradford this summer, gave birth to her just days after the rescue. Willow will now be trained as a comfort dog to help crime victims and witnesses. She should be ready to work next spring.
What a cutie. And take a look at this Portsmouth police dog. This is Frankie. The 15-month-old Belgian Malinois is joining the force as a canine officer. He and partner Officer Blanding are starting 3 months of certification training. Frankie should be on duty around Christmas.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Very cool indeed. Senator Shaheen hosts roundtable discussion on youth vaping. CDC, over 3 million high school students vaped in 2018. Let's take a look at this video.
feel that if a customer wants their product and they're ambitious and they want to do it today, if we have it here in stock, we have the people, the trucking, and why put off till tomorrow what you can do today?
Visit us at powellstone.com.
Youth vaping, a concern for New Hampshire Senator Jeanne Shaheen as she meets doctors, advocates, and public health officials in Hanover. According to the Center for Disease Control, youth vaping has exploded in the past several years. In 2011, the CDC estimates 1.5% of high school students, roughly 220,000, used e-cigarettes. By 2018, that number exploded to nearly 21%. Over 3 million students estimated to use e-cigarettes. Casey Reagan, a junior at Woodsville High School in Haverhill, told the Granite State Senator that many of her classmates are vaping, also known as juuling.
It does not matter who you are, where you're from, what your grades look like, what your family is like. If you know even one person who juuls, it's so easy to get sucked into it, and that is the biggest problem.
Her mom, Michelle, saying other parents aren't taking the issue seriously enough.
It comes in flavors, it looks like a juice box, it can't be that bad, that just scares me.
But Ryan Bishop at Monadnock Vapor in West Lebanon says he believes recent health issues are not coming from the vape products sold in stores.
If there's something we sell here, it's something I would feel confident using and knowing it's not going to harm me.
Dr. James Sargent, director of Dartmouth's Coop Institute for Public Health, says that's misleading.
That's a fantasy. I mean, they can't say that because the studies haven't been done that have looked at it.
Senator Shaheen telling attendees she supports increasing regulations on vape manufacturers.
My legislation would provide the same kind of fees on companies that produce e-cigarettes as we have on cigarette companies so that we can help educate young people and the public about the dangers.
In Hanover, Nathaniel Reed, NBC5 News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Dow features trade slightly higher ahead of jobs data. U.S. stock index futures traded slightly higher on Friday morning as investors looked ahead to non-pharma payroll number due later in the day. Hurricane Dorian, already responsible for 20 reported tornadoes, lashes North Carolina coast. Hurricane Dorian is battering the North Carolina shore as it continues its northward trek up the coast, but the storm could slowly be losing power. Early Friday morning, it fell from a Category 2 storm, which sustained winds of 100 miles per hour, down to a Category 1 with winds of 90 miles per hour as it passed by Wilmington, North Carolina. Although the eye of the storm brushed the coastline, Dorian had yet to make landfall as residents in the area brace for flash flooding and near hurricane force winds. On Thursday night, the storm passed southeast of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, pulping the South Carolina coastline with winds, storm surge, and heavy rain. Both North Carolina and South Carolina have already seen more than 10 inches of rainfall in some areas, and tornado watch is in effect for eastern North Carolina and parts of Virginia. And that is it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.